Hi, today we will discuss a new use case where we can implement a lightning flow. So this is the use case where when application status change is submitted, there is an application which can be basically come from a multiple source like a community portal or something. And when the application status change something to submit it, in that case we have to take certain actions. So what are the actions? So action is that we have to update the contact which is linked with this application uh, there is a field called notification status. So that field has to be changed to reminder 48 hours. So this is the pick list value. This is the pick list field where we have to change the value to this. And the condition is that this contact should be linked with a account which have a hot rating. If the contact link with the account don't have a hot rating, in that case we will not take any action. So this is the condition and this is the action we have to take. So for this one, to accomplish this requirement, we will use a lightning flow and we will use a record trigger flow for that. So you can see I have already created this flow. So if I open this record trigger flow, so this trigger flow will invoke based on the application object and it will get invoked when the record is updated. So we have multiple option when we can invoke this trigger flow, like when the record is created, when the record is updated, created or updated or deleted. So as of now, as I share you the requirement with you, when the status change to submitted, that means when the record is getting updated. Okay, so this trigger is on application object and it will get invoked when record is updated, and it will get invoked when these conditions are getting satisfied. So the condition is, what is the condition? Condition is that when the status is getting changed. So we have to define the condition here. So when the status change is submitted, it will get invoked, and there are two ways when the record is getting updated to meet the condition, or every time when the record is updated. So as per the requirement, we will use this option, and we have the flag to make this trigger to asynchronously or synchronously, so we don't need to do this, so we are just giving this checkbox. So going forward, once the trigger has been invoked, what we are doing, we are checking the account which is linked with this application object, which is triggering this flow, is having hot rating or not. So you can see the rating is hot, and ID is should be linked with the account which is invoking this trigger flow. So okay, once we got the account which is linked with this application is with the hot rating, we are getting all the records and we store it automatically. Now we have to find out the, you can see now we have to find out the contacts we wanted to update. So first we got the account which is linked with this application with the hot rating. Now we have to find out the contact which is linked with this account having active status, and we have to update this notification status field. So as we know that one account can have multiple contacts, so one account can have hundreds of contacts, so we have to use a loop for that. So initially, before using this iteration, we will use this get record element of the loop, and we'll just check which contact have the status active, and it is linked with this account of the application. So once we define the condition, the status should be active of the contact, and the account ID should be linked with that account of the application. We will just store it automatically, and then we will just use a loop element. So in this loop element, what we have to do, this loop element is same like the apex. What we do, we just basically assign a variable, and then outside the loop we do the DML operation. Same like we, in the similar way, we have to use best practices of the Salesforce. So initially what I have done, we have taken all the collection, that means the list. So this get records has given us the list or the collection, that means the contacts we wanted to update. So we will just give the reference of that collection. Okay, and uh, this loop will send each record each time. So you can see I have used one assignment element. So in this assignment element, what I am doing, the element, the contact which is coming inside this iteration, I'm changing the value of the field. This is a field called notification status of that contact. So I'm updating to the reminder 48 hours, and then I'm making a new assignment where I'm making a new variable of the collection and adding all the contact after changing the value. So once all the value is getting updated into this update record contact, I am ending the loop, and at the end of the loop, I am taking the TML action. So for that, you can see I have used the third option, use the ID and all the fields value from the record and record collection, and given the reference of this variable contact collection. So now let's execute this trigger flow. So I will just use uh, this account application that I have created to give you the demo. So this is the application, and status is submitted. So let me change the status to something else in the view. And if I go to account and if I go to this, let me change this to something else. Let's say not required. Go back and this as well. So now you can see there's one application called test one, have one account, and this account is with hot rating. And if I go to the Reddit tab, we have 3 contact inside this account. And if I open this one, first one, so this one is inactive. So in the requirement is mentioned we have to just update the contact which are active one. So we don't have to change the value this notification status. Now check the second contact. Here the status is active. So for this one, once we will change the application status to submitted, the status should change to this one, reminder 48 hours. So once we will change the status to the application, trigger flow will trigger and will update this value to 48 hours, required 48 hours. If I go to the third one, so this is the status is active. So once we will change the application status to the submitted, it will change the notification status to uh, reminder 48 hours. So now I will just keep the same value and go back to the application. So let me change the value of status in review to submitted. And if I will go to the account and this one, you can see the value has been changed from not required a reminder 48 hours, and the third contact as well, it should be changed. Yeah. So our flow is working fine. If you wanted to do the debug, you can also do the debug. So here you can see you have to just click the debug flow, and then here you can take any application, and then you can just change the status, and then you can see how it is working. So it will give you all the debug logs, like how the IDs are passing from each element of this flow. So as of now, it's not triggered because the value will trigger when the status is not submitted, and then we are changing the value to the submitted. So that's why. But you can debug it in this way as well. So that's it for this video. If you have any query, you can just comment out in this video. Yeah, thank you.